Chick-fil-A to end donations to groups that oppose gay and transgender rights. So, I heard about this story and I came across this article before it really started to catch heat. And apparently I had been hearing that they did not officially and intentionally end their donations. They just forgot to renew their own donations, their contracts for donating to these anti-LGBT groups. I haven't heard anything about them ending their donations to abortion groups, and if they're not stopping their donations to anti-abortion groups, well then that I definitely approve of. And by extension, I say if they really did end their donations to anti-LGBT groups, that being the actual subject at hand here, well then I approve of that. I approve of them ending donations to these types of groups. I mean, especially if these anti-LGBT groups are advocating for laws to basically ban trans procedures, trans people from entering the military, or even gay people from entering the military, banning homosexual practices and homosexual marriage and all that other stuff. I mean, if the intention of these groups is that and Chick-fil-A is donating to them, well then that kind of makes it, that really makes it disapproving in my eyes. Why do people care what a private company does? Asks Neil Stone. I think what I don't like what Chick-fil-A is doing, but they are a private business. I hate what they are doing, but I will defend their right to do it. Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. I think that Chick-fil-A has every right to donate to these groups, be it whether these groups are trying to advocate for laws against LGBT liberties, or just saying why LGBT groups or being LGBT is wrong. Be it either case, I think Chick-fil-A has the right to donate to these groups. I mean, obviously I think that LGBT people have the right to do whatever practices they want to without infringement from the government. So, and by that extension, we have a right to boycott Chick-fil-A if we want to, if we feel that strongly about LGBT liberties. Although I don't think that this whole LGBT issue with Chick-fil-A has gotten so severe to where I think that I need to, prioritize the whole LGBT issue of Chick-fil-A over my occasional desire to get a chicken sandwich from them. Chick-fil-A will stop giving money to organizations that are against gay and transgender rights. So this kind of does give the implication that it is a legal battle, that these organizations are going against gays and transgenders in the legal battle of things, not just the philosophical debate of morality, but they're also trying to make it illegal at the same time, is what it almost seems like here. So if they really did end their donations, well then it makes it all the better that in my opinion anyways, that they ended their donations. The change will begin next year and is part of a complete restructuring of the chicken chain's charitable arm of the company, the Chick-fil-A Foundation. Tim Tesopoulos, Chick-fil-A president and chief operating officer, told Biznow that as the company expands, he wants to clarify its beliefs. There's no question we know that as we go into new markets, we need to be clear about who we are, Tesopoulos said. There are lots of articles and newscasts about Chick-fil-A, and we thought we needed to be clear about our message. Alright, so I'm sitting on the edge of my seat here. What is he going to say? Is he going to say that, hey, we think that government shouldn't be in the business of marriage? Because if that's what he's trying to build up for, well then, applause. The change includes ending donations to organizations such as the Salvation Army. Really? Salvation Army was against legalizing gay marriage and transgenderism? Wow. I didn't know that. Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the Paul Anderson Youth Home. Instead of sending money to more than 300 different charitable groups, as it currently does, the philanthropic arm of the company will instead focus on 3 different categories of initiatives: education, homelessness, and hunger. That is interesting. Instead focus on 3 different categories of initiatives. That almost seems to give off the implication, kind of, that they don't intend to renew their donations to the anti-LGBT groups. If this is really true, if my implication that I'm getting from here is correct, well then I applaud Chick-fil-A as a libertarian. I think that it would be in Chick-fil-A's best interest to take a libertarian stance when it comes to marriage and, transgenderism, and donate to an accompanying charity associated with each. The Chick-fil-A Foundation plans to give about $9 million to those organizations next year, including $25,000 to a local food bank each time the company opens a new restaurant. Cool. This provides more focus and more clarity, Tesopoulos said. We think education, hunger, and homelessness are critical issues in communities where we do business in the U.S. Chick-fil-A's CEO, Dan Cathy, has spoken against gay marriage in the past. The company, which is known for closing its restaurants on Sundays, was also criticized by gay rights activists after the foundation donated more than $1.8 million to groups such as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, whose statement of faith says that marriage is exclusively the union of one man and one woman. Future partners may be either religious or non-religious organizations, but the company said it would not make donations to organizations that have anti-gay positions. I don't think I need any clearer of an implication than that right there, folks. It seems that Chick-fil-A is becoming more of the Ben Shapiro position of get government out of marriage. Congratulations, Chick-fil-A.